when Piku and Tyson came back and seeing that. I mean, it just so resonated in every fiber of my body on that. It's just amazing. And we do have the best leaders in any company, for sure.
Yeah, we've definitely got the best of the best. That's a great observation, and thank you for sharing that, Craig. Um, all right, who else would like to share? We'll take one more share.
Can I share?
Yes, of course.
I just want to give a shout out to, honestly, to the 14 people who drove 7 hours to be in Charlotte this weekend, and the other three who drove 4 hours to be there. That is a commitment to their business. And I know that every one of them gained information that will take them to their next level. Thank you.
Oh, that was beautiful. Yeah, it was so refreshing to see your team there and how they came together. And yeah, they really did rally. They did. They showed up. And I think, isn't that half the battle? Just showing up. You're like, okay, I'm gonna be there because I know it's a good thing, you know? So yeah, absolutely. Okay, we'll take one more share. Who else would like to share?
You're pretty sure to know about this situation.
Oh, who do I need to mute? Let me see here. Participants. We're having some feedback. Okay, let me see. All right. Okay. All right. I think we're good now. Okay. Anyone else want to share anything that any of you guys that were in North Carolina at the Wilmington event that you'd like to say one more word or anything like that? Nope.
You mean Charlotte?
What did I say?
Wilmington? That's where Dr. Lisa's from, I believe.
One city back. I meant Charlotte for sure. Oh my gosh.
You were there the day before. Don't worry. Okay.
That's so funny. Michelle says it was awesome. Wendy and Daryl, Chris Hoffman? It's your 46th anniversary, Chris. Happy anniversary. Hope you have something fun planned.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. We actually went out Saturday night to our favorite restaurant because they're closed on Sundays and Mondays. So our one daughter invited us over for dinner tonight, so we're going to spend it there.
Oh, well, that sounds great. After 46 years, you're like, let's just do something, right? Let's celebrate it.
Thank you.
Oh, well, happy anniversary. Okay. All right. Well, we are going to dive in. Now, I'm kind of excited about today's topic. Today, we're going to talk about launching events powerfully and properly and sort of some hosting etiquette. And I will tell you that one of the reasons I'm excited to share this is because I love collaborating with other teams, like teams that aren't always financially linked to you, right? That maybe isn't your team leader, because I always like to see what they're up to. I like to see what they're doing. I want to see if they have any ideas that I'm not have implemented yet, right? I'm kind of like a fly on the wall in that room going, what did she say on that slide? What did they say about those products? What did they say about this business part, right? I want to hear. So I love going to the big events. I was grateful for Jessica Johnson and her team, Jeremy and everybody from top to bottom. They were so organized. I told her that they were organized, they were professional, they were dressed for success, and everything went off without a hitch. Pretty much. There's always one thing. There's always a little something, right? But everything pretty much went off without a hitch. I think we had some microphone issues. That was it. But because sound is important when you're in a large room like that. But overall, the messaging, the way that they shared it was not the same. I mean, it was not the same, right? Because you have different people sharing. You see the way that they sort of, how they've honed their craft and their process. And so I actually wrote her a thank you note and said I learned a lot because I did, and not that I learned new information about anything other than the way that they did things, right? I really liked how relaxed she was, yet very professional, and everything was in somewhat of a time block, a time frame, a timely manner. So that was fun. And she and I were kind of joking because we both came from the same company prior. And so when she shared the agenda with me, I'm like, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. Okay, just went back to the 90s there for everybody. There was a song called This Is How. Okay, anyways, this is how we do it, right? So it made me happy to see that. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you something I put together that you might not have seen yet. It's kind of hidden a little bit under presenting tools on our team website, ourlegacymakers.com. So you can pull it up on your own screen if you like, but I'm going to share my screen real quickly and share this with you. And we're going to dive in. So let me show you where I found it first, because yes, it's a document right here. It's called Powerful Launch Event Outline, and it's giving you a 3-step formula. But how did I get there? So if we come under tools for presenting, so in business resources, this second thing in here, because what are we always doing? There's only 3 skills you have to have in this business, right? Inviting, presenting, and following up. So what do you have to get really good at? Inviting, presenting, and following up. So this is the second piece. We're not going to talk about inviting at this moment, but we're going to talk about what are some of the tools we have for presenting. So when I come in here, you'll see there, you can obviously, you want to invite them to the live presentation. That would probably be like a first, you know, a number 1 task to do. So anything on the team calendar that has to do with an opportunity overview, right? You want them to see the fullness of that picture. The next one is, of course, we have pre-recorded presentations, and you want to invite them using the virtual launch script. I have the Pulse app. So I have taken some of the YouTubes of the opportunity meetings that I think are quick and easy to like grasp, a basic overview, and I've uploaded that media into my 3 app. And so if they can't jump on a live, I would send them a recorded through my app so that when they click on it, I know they're watching it. Okay. The next one is through a personal virtual showcase, which means you're booking on my calendar a virtual showcase, or booking on your team leader's calendar a virtual showcase event where you're going to present. You're going to show the whole picture. You're flipping the chart or flipping the slides, right? And so you would book that out with a mentor and you'd invite them to that. Well, under here, this says virtual, but really there's this other way, right? Hosting the best events, virtual or in person. So right here, it says guide, just says guide like that. So that's where I got that. Okay. So this is a outline. It is a, like I said, it's a guideline. Okay. So it's not fast and hard. It's just really good practices. All right. So take some of the tips here. This would be a great thing to print out when anybody's hosting their first event. They want to know a little bit more. This would be a great thing. And don't reinvent the wheel. Okay. We have everything on here. If you feel like you're missing something, dive into this website deeper. This is one thing I've realized. There's a lot that goes into what we have, but really only 3 things. You have your back office, your 3 app, and you have the team website, right? So that's that. So you want to come in and hone your craft here. All right. So the first step is inviting with intention 7 to 10 days before your event, right? Your goal is to pack the room, whether that's in person or Zoom. So whether it's your living room or the Zoom room. And you're going to support your new brand partner in inviting 25 to 50 people using authentic personal messaging, right? Teach them that the goal is connection, not perfection. Hey, Lynn, I'm super excited. I just launched this proactive wellness company. I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm hosting an event and I'd love for you to come check it out. I'm excited for you to learn more. Right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just extending the raw and real invitation. We're going to be online. Do you know how to access Zoom? You do? Okay, we're going to be at my friend's house. Bring a friend. It's going to be great. We're going to have a couple appetizers or something, right? Bring a friend. So you're going to dive in that way. You're going to make a raw and real connection. The best way to do that is through a 3-step formula. Now we have the scripts that complement and connect, right? So, well, it's the connecting script. Hey, Lynn, I thought of you because you're always supportive and love wellness. Or you could say something like this. I'm launching something that could help a lot of people and I'd love for you to be a part of my kickoff, right? Another one would be, it's a quick virtual or in-person event on day and time. Would you be open to joining and sharing some positive energy? So I kind of revamped some of those scripts because I think they're fun and a little bit different from what we've had. There's 1,000,001 scripts to choose from. Choose what feels most natural to you and be yourself. So you want to send that along with any invite. You know how the company puts out like this in the Spark Global, they'll put out who the speaker is for Monday's event. Download that photo and send that to invite them with, including the link. If it's an in-person event, you'll want to create a custom event, and you can do that through Canva, and we have those custom event templates that you can use. All right, so here's some sample messages. Again, you know, this is the inviting part of getting a packed house, but it's, hey, name, I'm hosting my, so yes, I am talking about inviting. I'm like, I'm not talking about, yes, I am. Okay, so, hey, name, I'm hosting my official launch event next Thursday at 7 p.m. Would love to have your support. It'll be short, fun, and impactful. Are you in? Now, is it true is it true that if you're brand new, that you could literally just play a couple videos from your app on your TV? Like you could connect your phone. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to be the rock star in the room. You don't have to be the expert standing in front of the room. You can be somebody who's just launched a business and you've got some really great the things that interest you. You could show the Dr. Dan All Products video at 16 minutes. You could show a pre-recorded Zoom that you just pull up on YouTube and you play. You'd be like, I want you to meet my business partners, Holly and Corbin. And next week, you're going to meet George and Adrian. And it's all pre-recorded. All you're doing is clicking the video, the YouTube link. People are hanging out. They're taking notes. You're passing out enrollment forms, right? So do what's duplicatable for you. Don't wait to feel like you're a professional or that you know everything about the products to use the tools. So when it comes to presenting, this is where I always say, don't be a fool, use a tool. Because you can't wait to be really great. You've got to use the tools. That's what they're there for. We've spent a lot of time and money and energy on this website to make sure that you guys have quick, accessible tools, right? We spend a lot of time and resources doing the Spark Global calls and the YouTubes, right? To make sure that you guys have the information you need. So don't wait to be perfect. Invite people over, throw out some cheese and crackers and some waters and put it on your TV. It doesn't have to be complicated. The most complicated thing will be you printing out enough enrollment forms because you're not sure exactly how many people are coming yet, right? So print out, always at least have 10 enrollment forms. Okay. I always say when you're inviting, you can say something like, can I count on you to be a friendly face at my business launch party this Sunday afternoon? I'm excited to share what I've been working on. That's a good one, right? Can I count on you? Because what are you doing? You're actually asking them to tell you that they're attending, right? You're getting confirmation. I like that one. So maybe you started and you did the first one, and then 3 days before you say, hey, Rachel, can I count on you to be a friendly face at my business launch? I know I sent you an invite. Will you be able to make it? You are awesome. Can you bring a couple friends? I would really appreciate the support. So packing the house, right? Use voice memos. I always feel like voice memos, even a short video, can stand out when you're reaching out to somebody. You want to follow up the day before and the day of with a reminder and a thank you. So it's very important that you get good at this, that you're following up the day before your event and you're sending a reminder like day of the event and a thank you after. Because the thank you is actually what? It's a reason to follow up. Thank you so much, Terry, for attending my event this Saturday. Oh my gosh, what did you like about what you saw? Maybe Terry was in the room and she was like not ready to get started, right? But she was like taking it all in. And she has questions that we didn't have time to get to those questions yet, right? Every single person, see, the presenting is just the presenting. The following up starts at the event. What did you like? What kind of questions do you have for me? What do you see 3 doing for you in your life? That's a very important question. What do you see 3 doing for you in your life? That's key, right? So you're going to ask questions like that. Let them know it's zero pressure, just support and good vibes. You're just looking for them to show up. Okay. All right. So I just kind of coming back to this inviting process. See this on the side. It says tip, invite 30 people and 15 will say yes to taking a look. You want to run with that. If you invite 50, you're probably going to have, I would say, 20, maybe just 5 more. So it's definitely a numbers game when you're inviting. You want to try to invite them every way possible. Text is right in front of their face. It's always my number 1. Email would be a second. Maybe you create an Evite. Facebook event, you can create a Facebook event, invite, friends if it's an online thing. So lots of different ways. But I actually like to use the tracker form 30 when I'm doing this, which is under our tracking form sheets, and I've attached it here. Okay. So how do you number 2, pre-event preparation. Okay. So 2 to 3 days prior for both virtual and in-person, you want to confirm the event time with your people, the Zoom link, make sure they have the appropriate Zoom link, and who's helping with that. Maybe you've got a small team in your area and you're all working together to make sure that all the appropriate information is being sent out. There's no confusion, right? The last thing, and this can happen, somebody gets a wrong Zoom link, somebody gets a wrong address, somebody gets an address without a zip code. Make sure people know where they're going, okay? You want to help, you and your partner want to rehearse your 1 to 2 minute story because that's your why. So when the most powerful part of an event isn't actually the presentation information, I'm sure you thought that. It's actually your why. It's your story that sells. Remember, stories sell, facts tell. Stories sell, facts tell. Why are you doing this? What happened when you said yes to 3? Where do you see yourself going with 3? Right? You want to cast a vision, cast a big vision. I see us blowing up this area. I'm looking for as many partners as possible right here in our backyard. I'm so excited about this. You could come on board and we could be locking arms together and building this. That needs to be a part of your story. And I know you didn't think about that till I just said it probably, but it does. Okay. Cast a big vision. So make sure that you study. There's on step number 1 on the 5-point recruiting system. And in there, right under there, it's developing your story and creating your story. So go through that with you and your business partners that are you guys are contributing to this event, whether it's online or in person. Okay, then you want to rehearse, you want to review who RSVP'd and plan follow-ups for no-shows. So again, all of these are just helpful tips. 2 to 3 days prior, you're already planning the follow-ups for anybody who can't make it. Okay. Now, what if you have a private party? Do you know what a private party is? It's where nobody shows up. You probably didn't get RSVPs, but if you did, maybe you had a smaller number of people and you invited 10 people, 3 said yes, and then they all backed out because it was raining or something or snowing. Like, you don't know, right? So you would already be planning, well, I'm gonna tell them I had a great party still. I don't tell them nobody showed up. I was there, I showed up. I was the number 1 person there at that event, right? So I've had a private party in the first year of my business in this industry, and I ran through the slides and I presented as if people were in front of me. I made my husband and my kids sit down and I presented to them. And they had feedback, even the 4-year-olds. So it was really good, though. I learned a lot. Okay. So everybody has feedback, but I was like, nobody came, nobody showed up, but I'm going to do this anyways. Right. And so I did it anyways. And then I reached out to him and said, we had such a great party. I'm sorry you couldn't make it, but I'd love to meet you for coffee one-on-one. See how I follow up there? We had such a great event. Oh my gosh, everyone shared such a great story. There was such positive feedback, but I wanted to share some of that with you. Can we meet one-on-one? Could you jump on a Zoom? Can I meat you for coffee? Do you want, could you attend the next one? Okay. For virtual, you want to make sure you have a tidy background. Do you see I have a virtual background? I created this on Canva. You can create a virtual background on Canva if you don't want to clean your office or your house, or you're not sure what's going to happen that day or whatever, right? So I have a backup virtual background that I've uploaded to my Zoom. I test all my tech. I make sure that I'm testing to make sure that I'm on Zoom and that I can mute and unmute people. I've got my host features ready to go for my people who are helping me present. I'm always making sure that I have good lighting. So it doesn't, you could, the off, I'm in a hotel right now. There's a lamp here. Okay. I made sure I sat by the lamp and don't have very great lighting. But if I would somehow find a way to prop this up, like using my computer or something like that, so that the light was right in my face, So then that way people could really see my eyes. They can see my sincerity. They can see what I'm up to. Okay. So lighting, whether you know it or not, is very important. Not so much in a personal event, more on a virtual event. If you want to invest, I have bought like Diva ring lights for $25 off of Amazon or Temu or something like that, that are just cheap lights that have different like features of warm and cold settings. But it's just to have that lighting up, because then people can see your face and they're like, oh my gosh, she's a real life human being. She's a real person. She's got feelings. I'm watching her, eyes smile, things like that. Okay. Same thing with guys. We want to see the sincerity in your face and in your features. Okay. Also, you want to ensure your camera is eye level. See, right now I'm kind of looking down, but if I was doing an event, I would have this. I have a stand that I put my computer on so that I'm sitting in the middle of my screen, right? I'm at eye level. Okay. You want to use branded or neutral virtual background if needed. Yep. You can put 3. You see how mine is branded? It has the 3 logo in there. So that when I'm reaching out to people and I'm connecting, every time somebody jumps on a one-on-one Zoom with me or a virtual Zoom with me, I am representing what company? 3. Okay. I'm representing 3. All right. So that's a good idea. It's not totally necessary, but it is. All I did was download the logo from the back office. I uploaded it into my Canva. I chose a virtual background, slid the logo in the picture, took a screenshot of the whole thing and uploaded it to my Zoom. Okay. So you don't have to get too crazy. You can also just make sure that your office is nice and clean, like Lynn's. I'm looking at Lynn's office. I'm like, look how cute. And I'm like, I really wish I could see those pictures on the back of her desk. Like they're looking. So like when you're on with somebody, know that they are looking at your entire space and area, right? All right. In person, if you're doing an in-person event, it's very important that you clean your home. You create a cozy vibe, maybe light a candle. Some calm music is always good in the background because people get there, they're nervous, especially if they're guests and they've never been over before, right? So you want to make sure they feel comfortable, that there's a greeter at the door. Maybe one of the teammates is like greeting, hi, come on in. This isn't my house, it's Tracy's house, but come on in. We're so happy to have you here. What's your name? Okay, who invited you, right? Those are all good ideas. Greeting is the number one thing. You want to set up the product table, have a visual focal point. So don't always throw away your empty boxes of your 3 products. Save them for displays, right? Like Mari Ferrari, she has a box of empty products that she sets up and she's got this great display. She even has like links that they can click on to order certain packs of products right away. Okay. So she's got her 3 letters. It's really a beautiful table. Same thing with Irene Smith. I can always count on Irene to have a beautiful focal point at every event. You can offer light snacks or drinks if desired. It's not required, just FYI. You don't have to be feeding people and doing all of that. You could throw out a pack of nuts and some waters. It doesn't have to be a huge spread of things. I think that's not always duplicatable. So if they can come at a time, if they're coming at either happy hour time or they're going to be well there after dinner, then maybe consider that. Maybe you and the team chip in on some charcuterie or something like that, or whatever, but it doesn't have to be. Okay. I think a water and some little, as Mari would say, her favorite treat is a trail mix. She just buys like Trader Joe's, like a little trail mix pack. She'll put those out. Okay. Makes it a space distraction-free zone. So if you have kids running around, if you've got pets barking, if there's background noise, if you can hear that, it is going to be the most distracting thing for them. Okay. So, and I love our kiddos, and certainly when I first started this business, my kids they had to be there. I was, they were 4.5 years old. I was a single mom, right? So I would take my kids to certain things, but my kids learned really quickly how to be respectful in a room, right? But they're also kids. So sometimes I would hire somebody like one of the little neighbor girls or something, and I would say, go ahead and bring your kids. If I was doing a lunch and learn for moms, I would say, go ahead and bring your kids. I've got Rebecca down the street who's going to watch the kids for an hour while I present to you. So you can try to book that for them or whatever. I know it's kind of a big deal, but it's just, moms, they all want a break. If they got an hour break to listen to your presentation, I think it's a good idea to find somebody to watch the kiddos if they have to bring them. Okay. All right. The next one is just getting rid of any barking dogs, pets, background noise, things like that. Not everybody wants to pet your dog like you do. And I have a dog. I love my dog. She's adorable, but sometimes she jumps up on people's legs. Like she gets too excited and then she like rolls over on her back. And then all of a sudden it's like the Mila show. And it's not like, so I put her in a different room. I crate her and I put her in a different room and I give her a treat. Okay. All right. 3, event flow. So the host is going to welcome the guests. They're going to share a quick purpose, right? And the schedule of the event. So like, maybe they come in, you're like, welcome everybody. I'm so excited that you're here. My name is Nicole Barone. I used to be in pharmaceutical sales and now I find myself pushing natural supplements. I'm very excited about this. We're building a great business here in the Morristown area. So thank you guys so much for coming. I hope that you find value in what we're going to share today. We are going to go through a quick presentation and then afterwards we're going to do a Q&A and we'll pass out some forms for you to take a look at what we're offering. So she's giving them the rundown. We're doing a quick presentation. We're going to do a Q&A and we're going to pass out an enrollment form. She doesn't call it that. We're going to pass out a form. They always have clipboards. So this is one thing too. They bought I think off of Amazon, like a 30 pack of clipboards, like these really fun acrylic colors. And then on the clipboard, they always have printed out a product usage guide and the enrollment form. So a product usage guide and the enrollment form doesn't even have to be in color, although that's nice, but it's just having those out so that they can do that. The only other thing I would do is maybe a survey. Like we have some surveys in Canva on like, what are you doing for your health right now? Do you use supplementation right now? What are you most interested in? You could put a quick survey in there on what they're most interested in. And so you can create your own of what you hear the most people asking, but yeah, so that's what I would do. Okay, the next one, so making sure you've got those out. Host announces. Okay, then you're going to briefly introduce the new partners and their story. So if you've got new partners on your team and you're not featuring them, you haven't taught them how to share their story. They're not comfortable sharing their story yet because you haven't spent enough time developing their story. So you've got to reach out to those people, right? You know, it could be that they enrolled 5 days ago and got their products and like started feeling better in 5 days. That's a story. Which products are making you feel better? Oh, da 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 da. Oh my gosh. And how did you feel before that? And like, crap, I hated the way I felt. Oh my gosh, it was terrible, right? Now I feel like I'm, you know, really having a great experience in my own body, and I'm sharing that with others in hopes that I can help other people as well, right? And I'm partnered with Nicole in this area, and I'm super excited that we're all working together. That's a great story. And you're featuring the brand new person on your team. So have a few people, it doesn't always have to be brand new, have a seasoned person and have a new person, or both, vice versa, right? So just have a few people share their story. You can plug those in either before or right after the product portion, before you go, you know, into the business. If you're actually presenting, if you're playing a video, I would do one before, one after. Okay, all right. So, and again here, the partner shares should be why they joined, what they're excited about, and who they want to help or what they want to accomplish. So that's that. Product and opportunity highlights, a brief overview of the product line and company using one of the downloadable presentations on ourlegacymakers.com. So you can download the presentation deck. By the way, I always say, when in doubt, read the slide. If you're doing your own, like a live and it's or online and you've got the presentation deck up, do me a favor and just read the slide. Read the slide. Don't try to be all fancy. Read the slide. Like, that's what it's there for. People are like, well, you say this and you do that. I'm like, yeah. And I didn't in the beginning. I think I got really good after all these events I've been to. I never miss an event, right? So, but don't compare my 16 years in this business to your day one. I started out reading the slides. Read the slide. If you can read, you can do this business. I know that sounds silly, but it's true. Because I mean, I really would just download the slide decks. I would read the slide and then I would hear what other people would say as I would go to events, and I write that down and be like, I'm going to say that. I heard her say that on that slide. I'm going to say that on that slide. So I got really good at presenting. Remember, this is a skill. We are honing in one of the 3 major skills that you must have to be a successful network marketer: inviting, presenting, and following up. And it's all in this guide right here for you. So read the slide. Okay. You want to have 1 to 2 powerful product stories for each product. And I loved Dr. Lisa Sautung this weekend. First time ever presenting in front of people. She presented in front of 100 people. She was nervous as all get out. She practiced those slides, but what made her so relatable and everyone was so engaged in the information she was sharing is because she was sharing testimonials on every product slide. It wasn't just the ingredients. It was how people felt on those products, right? So if all you did was say, I love Revive, I used it, it helped with my knee issue, or da 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 da, that's all you'd have to say. They can see the ingredients on the slide, right? Okay, the next one is keep it simple, right? You want them to aspire to do what you're doing. That's how this business model works. You want them to be like, oh, I want to be on that stage, or I want to be in front of that room, or I want to get good at that. I probably could do it better than her. The biggest compliment to me when I first started this business is I would invite some high-level people that scared me, right? Business owners, people who were in health and wellness, doctors, chiropractors, things. I would invite them to these events that I was doing. And they were like, Adrienne, you know what? They start giving me feedback on, you said something, and I think you really should have said it this way. I think that was a better way. I'm like, oh, thank you so much for sharing that with me. You know what? Next time I'd love for you to come up and do those product slides. They're like, what? No, I'm like, oh, no, really, I think you could do it better than me. It's okay. You want them to think that. Your sharks, remember we talked about the personalities, the sea creatures? Your sharks, they're going to be those people. Your sharks and your sea urchins are going to give you feedback because they're like, I could do that better. Great. Show me. Go get up, go do it. Show me. You don't want to be the person always in front of the room. You want to be in the back, right? You want your team moving forward and modeling what works. Okay, again, live testimonials. 2 to 3 short stories should take no more than 5 to 10 minutes of the whole presentation. So if you say the presentation is 30 minutes, you're going to have to play a 25-minute video and give 2 people 5 minutes. It's quick. It is quick. And they're not closing the event. They're not doing anything like that. They're just sharing why they're excited, what happened to them on the products. Okay, the call to action at the end is you closing. So again, if you had clipboards, you'd say, pull out your clipboard. We're going to walk through the product packs, and you've got the slide up. You're going to talk about the product packs, which product pack best fits their needs, right? Let them know we can answer those questions right now, or you could book a one-on-one consultation to answer additional questions. That's always a good thing. And then you want to celebrate. So anybody who fills out the form, you want to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. You're about to get started to 3, official welcome to 3, right? And you can celebrate those. You could do giveaways if it's a live event. You could be like, for the first 5 premium pack and higher applications that come to the front of the room, you're going to a drawing for a free box of something, right? You can really make this fun. Okay. So, all right, hosting etiquette, start and end on time as best as possible. Doesn't always happen, but we do our best. Stay upbeat and professional. Go with it. You're going to have to be flexible, right? Flexibility is the key to power, because somebody might say something, or somebody might be walking in late, or somebody might be, they're unmuted. You're trying to mute them the whole Zoom, things like that. Like, expect the unexpected. No event is perfect. It's just better to have the event. Okay. So stay upbeat and professional. Use names. If you remember people's names, or you want to have name tags, that's always good. You want to thank the guests personally for coming, because they don't have to be there. They're there for you. They're there listening because you invited them. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust. That's why they're there. You're their best friend. Okay. You're the nicest person they've ever met. It's that kind of a thing. All right. I'm running out of time here. So you want to follow up with, you want to focus on sharing, not selling. Again, stories sell, facts tell. I want what she got. All right. I have knee pain too. I want what she's got, right? It's the same thing. They want to hear the stories. Stories sell, facts tell. And you want to follow up with every guest after the event. Even the ones that enroll and the ones that don't enroll, they do not escape you. You're just getting started. That was a presentation. Okay. The follow-up is always happening. You want to use the closing scripts to do that in under our scripts guide on our Legacy Makers. Okay. In person, again, of course, you're going to welcome specifically for virtual events, you want to encourage camera use. So you want to be like, oh, I don't see you, Tracy, pop on your camera, things like that. You want to encourage camera use. You want to mute background noise, and you want to use simple slides, and just keep going. We have all that. In person, welcome everyone, offer a light hospitality option, a drink, something like that, and keep the area calm, clean, and warm. Okay. All right. After the event, text or voice message all the attendees with a thank you and a follow-up. You're going to book follow-ups and connect guests to tools or calls. You're going to celebrate the launch on social media with a recap. I think it's really important. You guys probably saw me do, we were doing events, venues at venues at people's offices. Okay. And I did a ton of lives on my story, told people where I was at, what I loved about their practice or their facility. And people were like, where is she at? What is she up to? What is she doing? So you can do that pre or post the event. I did those pre the event, and one of them I did post the event, after the event. Okay. So people knew where I was at. They knew I was building a business. They saw that I was featuring local businesses in the areas that I was in. Be a good example. Okay. All right. So the next one is debrief with the new partners and plan the next launch. So the most important piece, and I probably should have made that really big bold. On every slide deck that we have, I add a new slide and I put in the next event. So if I'm doing an in-person event with Dr. Lisa and Dr. Sonia, I said, when's our next event? They're like, what do you mean? This is it. I said, oh, no, this is the first event. When's the next event? Because everybody here has to be invited to the next event. What days work for you? And they're like, well, we like Tuesdays. This is why we're here on a Tuesday. Great. Can you do May 20th? And they're like, well, let me check yeah, I guess so. I'm like, great. I just updated the last graphic, changed the colors, changed the date, and slid it into the slide so that all those people that were there that night got invited to the next event. Is in front of their face. Okay. So you're always inviting to the next event. Okay. Here's your level up for success. This is how you're going to get those people. Okay. You're going to write down the names of 30 people. You're going to invite them to the virtual or the in-person. 15 will say yes to taking a look. Out of that, 5 people will actually enroll in your business. These numbers don't lie. If you fill this out, if you did one of these a week for every Thursday meeting, okay, if you started Thursday to Thursday and you booked them out on our virtual call that we do every Thursday, or you picked Global Monday or whatever it was because you wanted to rotate leadership, I don't care. I just want to see you do this, because right now I know if you do this, you're going to do core 3 every week, or core 3 every other week, or core 3 once a month, and your paycheck and your rank, but mainly your paycheck is going to grow. How many of you guys want to earn an extra 1,000 a month? How many of you guys want to earn an extra 5,000 a month? You want to earn an extra 10,000 per month, right? You've got to invite, present, and follow up. So doing this system, using this guide and using this tracker form, I would print 4 of these out, 1 for each week. You go in every single day, you do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do 6 per day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 per day for 5 days, and you're inviting them to the next event. You've got 15 that will commit and 5 that will enroll. Keep it simple. KISS. Keep it simple. Keep loving on your business, loving on your people. If you and your teammates got together and you each filled one of these out on a Sunday, let's say you rallied together, you're like, I'm going to invite this person. Oh, I already invited that person. They said no. Fine, you try. I mean, like we all share. It's a collaborative effort, right? Everybody's constantly inviting. So you want to, again, connect, invite is the same thing. Okay, you're going to do that. And who do you know? It's all about who do you know. Right? You haven't invited your sister because she's never supported any of your businesses and you don't think she'll order the products and she doesn't have very much money. Invite her anyways. Who cares? Let her decide. Quit trying to have a crystal ball for people. Don't prejudge. Okay? Don't prejudge. Invite everybody. You're never going to run out of people to talk to because you're online and you also have a cell phone right here. And honestly, you could go through A to Z. You probably get through you could probably get through A through B and you'll already have 20 people invited. Okay. So do that. Do that. Do it more than once. All right. I'm going to put this guide in the chat and I just want to thank you guys for your time today. And let me stop sharing. Okay. Here is that guide. You guys can grab that. And let me also grab the Zoom recording for you, the live, so you'll be able to have today's live.
I'm going to put this guide in the
pause.
chat and
Boop. All right. And you guys will have that today. So today's recording. Okay. Boop. Okay. And then anything else I can do for you guys today? No? Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go out. It's Monday. You have got, you're going to print out the tracker form 30 today. Okay. Get that done. Start filling it out. Start inviting people. We have a graphic. It's on the team calendar, right? So if you go to the team calendar, invite them to Thursday. I'm doing Thursday's presentation this week. So invite them to Thursday. If you're going to do an in-person, yes, book the event. That you don't need 2 weeks to do it. I promise, some people, they can get excited in 5 days. Okay. So if you said, I'm going to do an event on Saturday when I get home, book the event and just start inviting. Okay. I'm doing an event at my house on Saturday. We're going to have some snacks and treats. I can't wait for you to hear what I'm doing. That's it. If you guys ran this every single week, you all would be millionaires. Mark my words. And you'd be building the world of 3. And can I just tell you, I don't know how to, I almost get emotional. When I was sitting at that dinner table last night with Christine and Antoinette and Kim and Samson, and she said, year 3 is critical. I said, I know. She said, I was really glad that you said that in the meeting, that it's critical. I'm like, yeah, year 3, this is your most powerful moment. Do not waste it. Do not waste it. We're already in May, okay? We're starting in to our 3rd year. This is your time. Whatever you do in year 3 is going to set you and your family up for financial success for the rest of your life. Don't waste a day. Do not waste a day. Build huge teams. Invite people consistently. Follow up nonstop like your paycheck and your life depends on it, because it does. It does. You got into this business for a reason. Make the most of it today, not tomorrow, today. So today we're doing 3 things. Your call to action, right? Printing out the form. You're going to start connecting and inviting to the next event, either your event or an event online. And then you're going to start following up and getting confirmations that who's coming, who can actually make it. You're getting RSVPs. Okay. You're going to focus in on just flooding 30 people invited. 15 will show up to that next thing. Okay. That's what we're doing today. All right, my friends, I will talk to you later. Thank you guys so much for being on with us today. Let's go out there and make it a great day. Okay. See you guys. Bye.